folks? Hey. What's up? Does that feel like you guys I'm here? See? I'm kind of grabbing the camera. It's like I'm with you guys. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty. We had a truck and a pallet show up, and the pallet was diagonal in the truck, so had to help the driver. Threw him some bottled water and had to hop in the truck for the last hour trying to rebuild a pallet to get it safely off of a truck. So I'm pretty fried. But I at least wanted to have at least a talk. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging for a day. I don't want you guys curl up in the fetal position and crying because I didn't make a video. So today, as we move forward in the world of Magic, and we're going to focus on Dominaria Remastered and Jumpstart 2022 in today's video. I don't think I filmed here because this is a new area. I've been under construction here. We've been expanding shelving units. I bought another 20 sets of these shelves, and I'm building my long-term mega MetaZoo position to make sure I have a little bit of each product moving forward. So we're working on the leftover wilderness and moving that around. I think we got some old school Nightfall and base set, and I don't think we have the UFO here yet. And Seance, I barely have any Seance. I think I got a couple cases. I mean, Seance, I don't think I can get more. So, folks, today we're going to talk about Magic and Dominaria Remastered. So, I really like the product. I'm really excited to do Dominaria Remastered. I even want to do some box openings. Today, you guys should be watching this video on a Friday. I actually was able to get almost a pallet of Brothers War collector boxes. There are no more of those. There's no second reprint or anything silly, obviously serialized cards. But I was able to get a bunch from another store here who wanted to raise capital for, I think, a deposit or something cash flow or something with a distributor in Dominaria Remastered. So I'm very excited. I actually was able to get some more Brothers War collectors because I personally really like Brothers War. And I really think that I've always seen artifacts has always been my thing. My two favorite things about Magic is always specialty land. You guys know that from 7 years ago when I did my It's Good to Own Land video. And the second favorite thing that I love about Magic is artifacts, colorless artifacts. So that's why when I was a wee little whippersnapper, my favorite thing to build in Magic in the 90s was Rudy's artifact decks, or I guess you guys call them Tron decks now, but a bunch of Urza's lands and Mishra's workshops and factories and Triskelions and a bunch of Colossus of Sardias and silly stuff and Obsidious Golems, Icy Manipulators. When I was a kid, I could never afford. I never had Gauntlet of Might or Illusionary Mask or Into the Power 9. I didn't have any money. But anyways, so Brothers War, I'm really impressed of how well it's doing. Most of the supply is completely flushed through the system. And there's no sign of an Amazon dump. There's no sign of excess inventory of Brothers War collectors. So I am very excited to, this Friday night, to offer to the patrons one last shot of actually Brothers War collector boxes at the same price we sold at the beginning, which I think, what were we selling for? Was it $209, $205, $209 or something? So we're going to keep the same price, and I want to at least offer it because I've been having so many patrons saying, "Hey, Rudy, I didn't buy Brothers War collectors from anybody, or you, or Amazon, or anyone, because simply put, the last 5 collector boxes were collapsing, so I didn't want to buy it, even though I like it. But this one is not collapsing." So I've been getting a lot of patrons actually asking, if I would sell them a half case or a mini case of 6 or 2-3 boxes. So I am going to run a little leftover Brothers War collector sale here, probably tonight if you're watching this on a Friday. So that's very exciting. I know the price has gone up a little bit. I think they're $225 plus tax, around $240 shipped online right now. So that's pretty cool. So, if you're a patron, you can get a case, $20-$30 off a box, off market price. So you can get a case of 6 and get, $150 off. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, a lot of patrons it was interesting to see the messages of everybody because none of us can say Brothers War was a bad product. It's just the emotions in what's happened the last 60 days. It started off with these goofy comments of price sensitivity and Hasbro laughing at us. Then it evolved to this Magic 30 proxy reprint thing. And then it evolved to, we're not going to slow down, who cares? Then it evolved to Bank of America laughing. It's been a whirlwind of a moment, and obviously I'm honored to be a part of it in history here as we move forward, I guess. But yeah, so last shot here, Brothers War. I'm going to do that. And then, anyways, back to the video, though. Dominaria. So, I've been on the fence obviously I'm going to order it and offer it to my supporters on a release and everything, but I've been on the fence on to order like a half. Like in the past, let me give some context to it. For example, in the past with Streets, Kamigawa, and all that stuff, all the way into Baldur's Gate. I ordered. Everybody knows I've told it over and over. I ordered 8,000 boxes of Baldur's Gate set, and then of course, I think it was 6,000 Baldur's Gate collectors. So, anyways, because of that, and I took those nasty heavy bags and sold them to my supporters, and they got hosed, and then I got stuck with the last 20%, and I got hosed, and but the only positive thing is I was able to get a lot more double masters to help kind of pull out from that, and but even then, I don't even think the whole process of the loss on Baldur's Gate and the profit on double masters, I think I may have broken even. The amount of work and time, it was a terrible summer. But anyways, so normally, again, I would order like 6,000 to 8,000. I did 8,000 boxes of Baldur's Gate set. We dropped to 6,000 boxes of Dominaria United set. We dropped to 4,000 boxes of Infinity set, or I guess Infinity Draft. There's only one version. And then we dropped to 1,800 boxes of Brothers War set. Now, moving into Dominaria Remastered, this is kind of a specialty product. I would put this in the category of Modern Horizons 2 and Time Spiral Remastered in what I like to call a light, fluffier version of a Masters product. So historically, these particular products, excluding Baldur's Gate, they hold up better. Obviously, people are very skeptical. I'm very skeptical. I even sent out a poll to my patrons, and I had, I didn't get half. I didn't get everybody to respond, but I had a good chunk. I had a nice portion of the patrons actually vote on this poll, and essentially, a quarter to a third of the patrons said that, yeah, sure, they'd buy some, Rudy, no problem. But another, I think it was 40% of the patrons said, no, Rudy, I'm just here to support the videos and throw a taco your way, and I'm just watching the world burn. I have no plans of buying any Magic, even if the product's good. And that was a really big chunk, a lot bigger than I expected. And another big chunk of the results was essentially, depends on the price. I'm price sensitive. I know, it's kind of a meme now. So, and I can't blame everybody for saying that because the prices can swing so much. But at the same time, if I commit to 5,000 boxes, and if I try to make $20, $30 a box, but if I only am able to sell half, the small profit of selling that half doesn't even pay for the heavy bags I'm stuck with on the other half. And in the past, I was okay with this because I like keeping positions long term. But now, if that's the case and the product bombs, well, Hasbro and Amazon just dump all the product at fire sale prices, and the system I used to use doesn't work as much anymore. But the fact is, it's a specialty product. I want to address a couple things. Dominaria Remastered does look like a really good product. And it is important for me, and you all watching this, to disconnect from how we feel about Hasbro and these morons at the top who just are so disconnected, it's nauseating. And remember, those individuals didn't make Dominaria Remastered. Okay? Dr. Cox and the chickadoo, that chick, president of Wizards, these two people didn't design Brothers War that's successful. They didn't design Double Masters. They're not designing. These two people who are so disconnected, talking about cocktail parties and, these individuals didn't make Dominaria Remastered. A bunch of employees and regular workers at Wizards making, $50,000 to $75,000 a year, working regular jobs and being part of Magic. They're the ones designing, R&Ding, playtesting, and making these products. Okay? And to me, it looks like they did a really good job. Now, the counterpoint is, here we go, Rudy. Another reprint of Icy Manipulator, another reprint of, Force of Will, reprint number 45, or, we got a Tudor reprint site. So some people still remain very upset, triggered, they're still very bothered by the endless reprint. And of course, certain cards they reprint 40 times. Other cards they never reprint. It's so weird. So you have a chunk of the population that's not happy with that, of the constant reprints. You have a chunk of the population that's so angry at Hasbro and Wizards and their corporate ivory tower. It's just so insulting, disconnected. I mean, by the way, a bunch of people told me they were reading the Wikipedia article on the conference call of what is Magic the Gathering. I got to go back and check that, because that's another video. Did the president of Wizards really not know Magic, and she read the Wikipedia article of what is Magic the Gathering? That's nauseating. But anyways, so this Dominaria Remastered, to me, they spoiled the whole set early. The reason for that is because stores aren't pre-ordering, and they're cutting their numbers down so much. Wizards went out of their way to drop the whole set in advance to try to lure in more pre-orders because people are cutting back so much. I don't give a shit about what corporate says. I don't care if people make fun of me and Rudy, you heavy bag. You can say whatever you want. I don't give two fucks. But I'm telling you, Wizards spoiled the entire set early, which is something they normally don't do, because stores and pre-orders, I have pretty confident data on this, that I'm making up for my left nut, that the pre-orders were low. And because people were concerned, just like I was with Jumpstart. And, well, they dumped the whole set, so we all know what it is, and Dominaria Remastered looks like a decent set. No, it's not going to $1,000 a box, no this and that, but, assuming they have some sort of generic discipline on printing, in print run size, the product looks decent. I would expect the collector boxes to be pretty tightly printed, because at this point in time, with how much focus is on them, I don't believe Wizards can afford more mainstream CNBC, Wall Street analysts watching these products collapse. So this is a moment in time to put our emotions aside and understand we are actually in a player customer base in a moment where the teeter-totter is slightly tilted in our favor. It's like playing blackjack. You can still lose everything and get hosed. But there are moments, for you card counters out there, there are moments that the deck can be slightly in your favor. And I believe moving into 2023 right now, this is one of those moments where we have a slightly favorable odds because they are under the microscope. And if let me just paint you this. If Dominaria Remastered comes out and it collapses like Baldur's Gate, which I don't think is going to happen. I'm going to be on record for it. So if you guys want to clip it out of context, whatever, that's fine. But I don't believe, I'm going to make this very clear. I'm ordering my Dominaria Remastered position, draft and collector. I'm going to offer it to patrons. I'm going to try to keep position for myself, and I'm going to try to do a couple box openings, let some patrons. We're going to try to go back. But I don't believe it's going to collapse, because I believe if it does, with how much scrutiny and how much mainstream attention they're getting, it could cost some of these people their jobs. So I believe we are actually in a moment now where, I hate to say it this way, because I know how I feel, I know how most of you all feel, and I know Rudy's been spearheading the crusade. Oh wait, we're not allowed to use that word. I've been leading the crusade against Hasbro on how stupid they are. But actually, this is the moment we need to somehow focus on being more greedy. That's my opinion. This is in a long-term investment mindset. These are the moments when you don't want to do it. I don't feel like they deserve the business and money, because that's how I feel. In finance, you guys, me, my ex, your goldfish, and my stepsister. I don't have a stepsister. I would like a stepsister. None of us care about the feelings. And these are the times to push that aside and actually be more greedy. And I'm battling my own emotions with that, and as I'm sure many of you are also. But the facts remain. The worst part about Dominaria Remastered, in my opinion, is, well, I don't see any extreme lottery hidden cards. There's no serialized cards. There's no masterpieces. And the land cycle is garbage, which always triggers me. Why the fuck did they not put some sort of shock land, fetch land, enemy, allied, anything? Some sort of attractive land cycle. Because I'm a very big fan of a unique land cycle helping to support a safety net in a product. But, the fact remains, they do have the world-famous Force of Will, a tutor cycle, a lot of other good rares and mythics, and of course a lot of jank and bulk, which good old Wizards of the Coast. But there is enough in there to prevent a full collapse. Does that make sense? There's enough in there where the collector boxes, even at $300 on the market right now, plus tax, that people are buying all day long on TCG Player. I mean, people are paying, that's $320 out the door, which I think it's a little much, but that's my opinion. Unless, again, news comes out where everything's being bottlenecked and distributors jack the price and something changes, I don't know, then it could be a good price. But as of right now, that $320 price with shipping and taxes for a Dominaria Remastered collector box seems a little pricey. And even if that drops to $260, you get 20% off. We can't have a situation where these Dominaria Remastered collector boxes follow the path of a Baldur's Gate, because there's too many cards that are desirable in this remastered version, plus old retro card frame and all this crap. So you can't have Dominaria Remastered boxes collapse to 140. That's what I'm getting at. Kind of how Baldur's Gate collectors went from 300 to 250 at release to 200. I mean, they just collapsed and they bottomed out at around 140s or 130s. Now they've been kind of hovering back to 150 and they're just kind of sitting there. So I don't, and see, that's a positive thing. I genuinely, in my opinion, and of course I've been wrong all the time. Everybody on the internet, make sure they're aware of that. Rudy's always wrong, make shit up. I love you too. But I don't think the data supports even a small possibility that this item can go to the 120, 130, 140 collector boxes, not draft, collector. Because at that point, you'd have an inverted EV, and even I would just say, well, screw it. I'll just not sell the product for that. I'll open them all, and I'll just take mythics and rares and just sell the singles. So I think there is enough of that as a safety net where we're not going to have that extreme worry. And the draft box is being priced, I believe, the same as a little bit more than Time Spiral Remastered. I think the draft, what are they, 140, 150 wholesale? So let's figure even the worst, 150. Even at 150 wholesale, 2%, credit card fees, handling, all this crap with distributors. Even with all their fees combined. Let's say at even 150. I think it's like 148 or 140. I don't know. 150. Let's make an even number with credit card fees and everything. Even at 150, what's the market now? 200 plus tax, so what? 210? So even if that drops 20% to the 170s, 180s, the amount of cards in this item, it's going to be very difficult for this booster box to go down to 99 or 100 to be inverted and collapse, because I think there is enough in the product to support it. Now, to be the other side of the coin, we remain in a bear market. The global economy is a shit show. Your stepsister, she's walking funny. Taco Bell continues to increase prices on the taco index, okay? BitConnect has not recovered. Okay, the world is a very volatile place. Okay, Rudy's hair is still falling out, and I remain, price sensitive. And of course, based on all of this, I need to make it very clear to you all that if you decide to buy this, or if you decide to buy it from me, or if you decide to buy it from your local LGS, or Papa Bezos, penisrocket.com, no matter what you buy it from, do not expect to buy this product and to double your money or make any tendies or profit in the short term. I'll be very clear that we remain in a bear market, inflationary, consumer-crushing, turbulent economy. Things aren't going to zero. It's not in that kind of extreme. But, the cost of capital continues to rise. The Fed says they're going to do another 25 or 50 basis points here in the next, week or two? And with that being said, that's a lot of downward pressure. Cash is no longer trash. And of course, you have to factor all these things in that, the original group of people that were buying these products, whether from me or from you or LGS or eBay or TCG, that were buying to flip or open, those people are gone. So then now the player pools and the customer base that are actually buying things to release is significantly lower. And that is, but at the same time, a lot less stores are pre-ordering. People like me are pre-ordering less. So there's less supply being moved. And so no matter what anyone tells you, this is what's going on. You will not find any LGS in the world right now that says they are buying records amounts of Magic. It's just not real, okay? So, with all that being said, I'm excited about Dominaria Remastered, and actually going to be doing, I'm going back and I'm doing a small Jumpstart 2022 thing. I don't even know if I'm getting a whole pallet, but I actually was able to get a little bit. It's heading my way. And when we do that, we're going to offer it because Jumpstart 2022 turned out to be a decent product also. So, I'm very excited about all that. And I just want to give you all my opinion, and that I'm very positive in Dominaria Remastered, and I'm trying very hard to strip my emotions and Hasbro and attitude away from this product that was created by a bunch of normal employees at this company with rich people at the top that are disconnected. So I'm trying to disconnect my emotions and focus that, we can't penalize a product that's decent over a bunch of corporate disconnected morons at cocktail parties and goofy stories. So that's all I have. Hope you guys learned something. And, if I'm wrong and Dominaria Remastered goes to zero, you guys can laugh at me and my heavy bags and my MetaZoo heavy bags and my From the Vault heavy bags and Wilderness heavy bags and every other heavy bags. You guys can continue to do what you do on the internet. And as always, folks, have a beautiful day out there. Remember to surround yourself with positive people. I know. And I do apologize to everybody out there. This is an official apology video at the end. And I do apologize for being so negative and aggressive towards everything. But if there was ever a time to do that, I feel like this was the moment to do that, so I can at least be on record to say I tried. Other than that, folks, have a beautiful day, and as always, we end these videos on the best moment of all time, and that is a picture of my penis. Have a beautiful day, folks.